Hello students, welcome to the e-learning session initiated by Lok Jagruti Kendra. Myself Darshil Shah, working as an assistant professor with Department of Quality Assurance at LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Before going ahead, please like, subscribe and follow our official YouTube channel Pharma Ignite. We are continuing with our third part, that is premises. In an earlier session we have seen that how the plant layout should be planned, what are the various factors you should consider for designing a plant layout, and what are the different types of plant layout. It might be a production layout, or it might be a process layout, or it might be equipment layout, or it might be a combined layout. We have also discussed the various factors which can affect the plant layout. So, in a today's session we are going to discuss about the design of layout. The plant layouts are dynamic rather than a static concept, meaning thereby once it is done, permanent in nature, or rather improvement or revision in existing plant layout must be made by keeping a track with the development of new machines, new equipment, improvement in a manufacturing process, or changing in materials, handling devices, etc. So, you cannot keep a constantly a plant layout at a constant manner. As the technology changes, you have to change your plant layout. So, there are different reasons where you need to change your plant layout. It might be increase into the output of existing product. So, if you are making 100 tablets per minute and then you are making 1000 tablets per minute, so you need a larger compression machine with a greater speed. So, you need to change a compression machine that requires might be a larger size or maybe a larger electricity area. Then introduction of a new product and the diversification. If you are expanding, if you are adding a new product, or if you are adding a suspension, emulsion or syrup rather than making a tablet, so you need a equipment for suspension, syrups or maybe some other materials. So, technological advancement in machinery, material, process, that is there is a constant improvement in a machinery. So, you cannot keep a constant one machine for a longer period of time. So, constantly you need to change that machine, and deficiency in the layout unnoticed by a layout engineer in the beginning. Everything when you start to produce a certain pharmaceutical product, then you realize that this item should be kept over there, this item should be kept over there. So, keeping in mind, you should be ready to change in a plant layout. There are various principles for making a plant layout is like that. The premises must be located to minimize the risk of cross contamination. That is, you cannot locate it next to a malting factory with a high airborne level of yeast, or you cannot keep it near to the meat factory. So, your neighbors plays an important role for the various kind of contamination. So, you should keep this point in mind, that what our neighbors do and how it can affect our product. So, for designing a plant layout, you should keep in mind, that is material flow, or a people flow, or the process flow. To ensure logical flow of this activity, we have keep one layout in picture, so you can better understand. So, you can see over there the red lines are connected with the people flow, while the green lines are for the material flow. So, you can see over there the material flows are kept on the outer sides, or you can see that the raw materials storeroom is not incorporated in the middle of the thing, that you have to pass the raw material with the different areas. The raw material area is directly connected onto the outer side. So, if any truck or any vehicles comes with the raw material that directly enter into the outer part, it should not contaminate with the other areas. Same way, the finished product warehouse is also onto the other side, where there is a easy movement of material we can observe or we can do. The utility services and waste treatment is also kept onto the outer side. While you can see a people flow, generally there should be a corridor before going into the each of any of the areas. In the corridor, there should be a gowning process, or the people can transfer the things from the one material from the one place to the other department with use of that corridor. So, you can clearly see that the materials movement is kept onto the outer side, while the process things are kept onto the middle part. You can see that again the offices, gowning areas and canteens are also kept into the outer side. So, person enters into the manufacturing area should not contaminate any of our product. Now, if you have to see that the design of areas of various weighing of materials or the there should be a proper air supply. So, the material can get a sufficient amount of air, otherwise in certain cases the material get decomposed. There should be a dust control measures because the raw material area is on the outer side. So, there might be possibility that it may be contaminated with a dust. It should be a easily cleanable surface, no areas for dust accumulation, product protection of material, product and the operator. So, the person should wear this gowning type of clothes. The temperature and relative humidity is constantly monitored with accordance to the SOPs and the results are recorded. The limits should be appropriate according to the material stored and product processed. In a certain cases, you need a freezer to store a material for like vaccine sera or the antibodies. So, the temperature monitoring is constantly maintained. If there is increase in a temperature in case of antibodies, the antibody may not work. Maintenance and repair, that is the activity is inevitable in manufacturing area and should present the no risk of the product. Whenever possible, all plant maintenance outside the normal operating hours, so there is a no chance of contamination. Emergency work in a working area followed through the clean down and disinfection before the manufacturing recommences, and the area clearance should be done by with the help of Q and QC. You can see that if any person comes with a repairing, he should also do a gowning part. Now, there are special areas like ancillary areas, storage areas, weighing area, production areas, quality control areas. The ancillary areas are they should be separate from the manufacturing and the quality control areas. Changing, washing and toilet areas accessible with the appropriate numbers. The maintenance workshop separated from the production. If not possible, tools into the reserved area we should keep. The animal house should be separate from the manufacturing area and there should be a proper air handling and temperature control. Here you can see that the toilets are on the opposite sides of the change room, so it should not affect the our product. Now, general cases you can see this kind of gowning area in a pharmaceutical industries. There should be a separate receiving and dispatch base of materials and products protected from weather. The areas to be clean for incoming materials to be provided. You can keep the incoming materials over here and there is a different areas for the incoming material and the dispatch materials. The cleaning of incoming containers with the use of either a cloth or a duster or might be with the help of vacuum cleaner and the use of air curtains or the air tunnels. The storage area should be having a sufficient capacity, orderly storage of categories of material and products. There should be a separate segment for starting material, packaging material, intermediates, bulk, finished product, quarantine area, rejected area, return products. So, there should be a separate areas for the each class. You can see that there are different storage areas with a proper labeling on it. For storage areas, continuing with that, the appropriate temperature and relative humidity condition with defined limits, the provided and controlled and monitored and recorded. That should be a good storage condition should be maintained. The quarantine area is clearly marked and access is restricted. Quarantine area means the material is going ready to is going to be used, that is called as a quarantine area. You can keep a material which is going to be used in that quarantine area. Thus, there should be a separate sampling area and there should be a separate areas for rejected, recalled and returned materials. It should be clear that this material is rejected. Storage areas for printed and packaging material should be isolated. The special attention should be done for the sampling. You should keep a label that this material is isolated or you are going to use this material for sampling plan, or the special attention for the safe and secure storage. Ensure compliance with the specification that they prevent the mix ups. Now, Weighing area should be done into the separate areas. There should be a HVAC on it. So, there should not be any chance of microbial contamination. There should be a provision for dust control, and it is a smooth, durable and easy to clean finishes. Now, you can see with the production area, the production area should minimize the risk of cross contamination. There should be a dedicated and self contained facility for some products such like penicillins or biological preparation. You cannot produce a penicillin and paracetamol on a single equipment. You should keep a separate areas for each type of preparation. There should be a separate facilities for such of the antibiotics like hormones, cytotoxic substances, and non-pharmaceutical substances should not be produced into the same facility. The layout in accordance with the sequence of production, that is the production layout, appropriate cleanliness level should be maintained, adequate work and in process storage should be maintained, orderly and logical positioning of equipment should be made, and specially designed areas for packaging. The layout should avoid mix ups and cross contamination. Starting and packaging materials and intermediates and bulk exposed to the environment should be clearly cleaned, and there should not be any joints in the walls and the floors. That should be a easy and effective cleaning should be permitted. You can see over there the design of pipe work, light fittings and ventilation points, no recess that are difficult to clean. You can clean each area. There should be access for maintenance from the outside production areas. The drains for adequate size and equipped to prevent the backflow, and open channel should be avoided. So, the insecticide can get easily into it. The effective ventilation with the air control facility, including the filtration of air sufficient level to prevent the contamination, and you have to constantly maintain the temperature and humidity. The windows cannot open to the outer side. The finishing of floors and ceilings should not be with this type of cracks. You can see in the wall that there is a cracks. You cannot keep such kind of walls in our factory, and finishing and walls of flooring should be like this. It should be a constant. You cannot keep this kind of designs in a designing of walls or the floors. There should be a suitable space for storage samples and reference standards and solvents and reagents and records. The quality control laboratory should be separate from the production areas. So, there should be a separate area for the assay of biological products, microbiological and radioisotope methods. The suitable design with sufficient space to avoid mix-ups and cross contamination. The suitable space for storage samples, reference standards, solvents, reagents and the records. They can ask a question that explain dynamics of plant layout and explain various guidelines for designing of various areas like the weighing area or production area, the QC area. I have referred the Marshall and Decker series for the making this presentation. Before ending my video, please like, subscribe and follow my official YouTube channel, that is Pharma Ignite. Thank you for listening this presentation. Thank you.